this is CombatTingles. Today I'm going to be building a trap for you in Garry's mod. It's just going to be a simple trap. It ain't going to require much special like wire mod or anything like that. I have not played this game in quite a while, so I may have forgotten maybe some of the item placements in the mod menu. But let's get started. The first thing you're going to need is a trash dumpster. This is going to be the main platform for the trap. This is what's going to house your victim. We'll just freeze that in place there. To freeze, you just grab it on with your fist gun and right click, and that'll freeze it in place. If you want to rotate the item, hold A, and it will move on the axes that you have grabbed while rotating with your mouse. If you want to be a bit more precise, then holding Shift and A while rotating your mouse will move it in certain degrees of angles. Very helpful if you're trying to get something very exact. Alright, so we go into our menu and hold Q. The next thing we're going to need we could use a blast door. This blast door, we will need this, but not right now. We will freeze it in place. The next item on our list, I believe we need to go into Builder General, and we need a wooden platform of some kind. It doesn't too much matter what kind or what size, as long as it is wooden. That is the important part. And I'll get to why in a minute. I'll go ahead and grab two of these 2x4s. What else do we need? I believe we need buttons and a turret, but I'll go ahead and start explaining how this trap is going to work. The wooden platform will need to be on top here. This will just be a ramp, simple enough for people to get on top. The idea is that the user will walk up the ramp, come onto the platform, hit a button, and fall down into the dumpster. And hopefully, as long as the physics doesn't mess up, the blast shield doors should close behind the user. Alright, now let's get constructing. Now I'm going to grab this box, hold A and Shift, explain. Basically, I want to make sure the items will always point in a particular direction on the map. Notice that it is also exactly the same, so I'm trying to just guarantee everything can line up nicely by making sure they're all straightened to the same I think you know what I mean. Alright. So the next thing we're gonna need to get will be a button or turret. I'm not too sure if turrets have been removed or if they're still in the vanilla game. I might have an add-on that adds turrets, or it might be buttons I'm thinking about. I know in Garry's Mod 10 they did have buttons and they did have turrets, but I believe I've read some comments saying that they're missing from Garry's Mod 13, so you might need to go into the workshop and download any required items needed. But generally, good servers would have these items already on their server list. So if you're doing this in multiplayer, you're likely to have what you need. So we're gonna go ahead and take this wooden platform. Oh, and another tip: while you're flying in no clip with V, it is recommended, if you want to be precise, hold down the control button. You'll move much slower versus going like a madman like this. So we can move our items in place. Slowly lower it down. And get it to where we like. Now I will be leaving just a little bit of a gap of the wood coming out like this. I will explain why in a minute. Next we will be moving the blast shield doors down a bit. Don't forget to control A right here, that is important, in case the physics go a bit crazy when you add the ball joints to the dumpster. For the ramp, it's not too important, the position, just as long as users can walk up onto the platform, then it's done its job. Will be no colliding the stairs with the dumpster, just in case anyways. So slightly towards us so that it is on an angle. If you can see that, it's not exactly vertical with the dumpster. So this ball socket one of the edges at the left, just like that, and we're going to do the same on the right. Now we'll need to give it a little test. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. Now it could still mess up. When this platform's removed, this could go below, but if it does, I can add a little item just to block it from not closing properly. See, that is why we need it slightly on a bit of an angle for that to shut. Okay, now to get the trap working proper, we're going to want to get a button. I will take toggle off, but sometimes it might be needed, sometimes it doesn't work properly, but I'll disable the toggle. I've set the key to simulate to numpad 0, but that can be any key that you desire, but just remember what key it's set to. Which button to choose? Yes, the muffin button. This button should hopefully work quite well in grabbing a potential victim's attention who doesn't want free muffins. Right. Next we are going to weld this blast shield door to the wooden platform. Make sure the force limit is set to 0. If it is 1 and up, it's setting how strong a force is needed to break the weld. But if you set the weld to 0, then nothing, no matter how strong, should break the weld unless the item itself is destructible. Luckily the blast shield door is not, but the platform is. So we're going to weld that to the wooden platform. So once this is destroyed, this has nothing keeping it up, and thus it'll start falling. Let's go ahead and weld the dumpster to the wooden platform, the stairs to the dumpster. Alright, we will now need a turret. Make sure it is set to whatever you have set your button key to, as when you hit the button, that button will then activate the turret. For ASMR, I'm going to turn the shoot sound off, and I don't need any tracers. But what I like to do to guarantee that I've actually hit the target, because sometimes it can mess up, is add more bullets per shot. Maximum damage. I'll leave bullet spread off and bullet force to 0. What bullet force does is, say it is shooting a box, force it has, the more it'll push the box away. That might be a bad idea for this trap, as it could. Pushing it away, that'll tip the box over and let your victim free, so we'll just leave that at 1. Toggling it would mean that once it's turned on, it stays on. Once it's turned off, it stays off. If you don't toggle it, it'll just turn on and turn off for the duration that the button is pushed. We will leave that not toggled at all. Actually, I don't even think I need that to be over the edge. I could just add the turret here, and that, I think that would suffice. Alright. Next, we're gonna take the duplicator and duplicate what we've just made and paste it over here. Everything looks similar. I think everything is all attached that should be attached. Alright. It is very important to duplicate any items that you have made, especially if it's something that has taken you at least 30 minutes, as there will generally be something that'll go wrong along construction that you may not want to happen, and it could completely wreck all the progress you've made. But it looks like I've got this working quite well. Okay. Good. Alright. So I'm going to take my item over here. It seems to work properly. Next thing I need to do is I'm going to add some balloons. I'm going to add a wee red balloon, and I'm going to make sure the force limit is 3,000. I could do it with 2,000, but it isn't enough force for to lift the item. You'll see what I mean. So you want to click on here and actually write 3,000, which goes further than the limit that is on the slider bar. I'm going to throw these items around the dumpster. Hopefully that should be enough. Now we're going to no collide the stars with the dumpster. And we will make sure that the blast doors is unfrozen. To unfreeze, you just click on it. There's something I'm missing. Yeah, let's check. Yes, what's holding that down? This needs to fly up. The balloons aren't strong enough. I can delete them and just add more power to them, and that'll be good. But I'm just trying to remember, how do you without having it fly off prematurely before the trap set off. Yes, I think I remember. Alright. I'm gonna get my balloons. And I'll set it to 3,600. Getting there. Careful not to break the wood. Alright. Okay, 4,000 should be enough then. Or I'll do 4,500. We will just unfreeze that there now. Perfect. Seems to have enough strength to lift all the items, and even the user's weight as well. Just set that there. Alright, we will need to go to the weld and weld the wooden platform to the earth. That way we can unfreeze everything and it will not fly up until the button is pushed and the item's destroyed. These balloons are going a bit crazy. Alright. Now I will get the rope tool. This is not necessary, but I will take the rope tool. And I will just do something to hopefully attract people to the trap. Fun. There we go. I believe that should be the trap complete. Now all we have to do is unfreeze everything. The quickest way to unfreeze, instead of by clicking everything, would be to tap R on your keyboard, and that will undo everything that is attached to the items. Now, to demonstrate how this trap as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, this is no fun at all. I am trapped. And I have flown to the top of the map. Now, of course, in the majority of servers, you can just no-click